welcome to the Sustainable Energy for All Forum. We're so delighted to be here, and we're really pleased to be here in Lisbon, in Portugal. I think it matters to walk your talk, and this is a country that started, in fact, way back under the leadership of a certain António Guterres, now the Secretary General, that started its journey towards renewable energy. This is a country that can run itself on renewable energy, and this is a country that's now using its voice in Brussels to argue for greater ambition from the European Union. So it's right and proper that we're here for this forum. We can have affordable clean energy, we can have reliable clean energy, and we can have it from everybody. And that's what this forum is all about, and that's what Portugal is all about. So we have more than 1,000 registered participants. We have, look around you, we have entrepreneurs, we have investors, we have funders, we have policy mavens, we have the people who get elected and have to make the tough calls. We have community leaders, we have city leaders, we have the technology gurus, we have the people who understand what blockchain is. We've got everybody here, and you're here because together we can go further, and together we will go faster. 2018 seems like it's a long way away from 2030, which is the goal for sustainable energy for all. That's when we should have achieved sustainable energy for all. In fact, we should have achieved it early, because without it, we can't know that the respiratory diseases are going to go away and our kids are going to be safe. Without it, you can't build a business. Without it, you can't grow a business. And so we may be 12 years away, but that is a very fast 12 years. We've got a lot of work to do in the next 2 days. My job is to just remind you that in July, the United Nations system is going to assess progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals, a group of them, a cluster of the 17 goals. Included in that will be progress towards Sustainable Development Goal 7. And today, like we did last year in New York, we're going to start with the data, we're going to start with the evidence. In this turbulent world, we will be fact-based. And we are going to not shy away from where the data and the evidence shows that we are not yet at speed and scale. We're going to hear the stories of those who are getting close to speed and scale and understand, what did they do? What was the leadership decision that they took? How did they bring people together to make the breakthrough? And so what we will hear in the first plenary session, when the data is presented to you by the data partners, is a signpost. It's a milepost. This is how far we've got. This is how far we've still got to go. And then we're going to build on that in your partner working sessions, in the deep dives, in the disruptive thinking, and in the stories of success. But first of all, bear with me. I have a few people I need to thank. We wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be in this building, we wouldn't be all together if it weren't for those who've kindly stepped forward and helped sponsor this event. So I want to say thank you to the European Union, to the OPEC Fund for International Development, to Facebook. I want to give a special thank you to Electricité de Portugal, at the forefront of the energy transition here in Portugal and around the world, who've helped us stage this event. I have to thank the Africa Development Bank in particular for helping us support the travel and participation of so many of our partners and friends from across Africa, understanding what the real challenges are for them and how they are succeeding in overcoming them is a big part of the truth of this event. I also want to thank Johnson Controls and Danfoss Cooling, the International Copper Association, Power Africa, Total, Longi Solar. I also want to thank the IKEA Foundation for all of their support. And then there are the funding partners to the global team of Sustainable Energy for All, the government partners, the funders who keep the whole show on the road and make the team possible that is behind this event. So thank you to all of you, and you will hear about them over the course of the next 2 days. So before I give the stage over to a formal welcome, I just want to remind you that we're here to work. We have much to celebrate. We are not quite yet on the trajectory that we know is possible. We are standing at the cusp of a revolution. This is one of the most exciting moments to be doing what we are doing. And when we leave here in 2 days' time, I hope that you will have a connection. You will have a business deal, a handshake, a promise, a newfound inspiration, a new piece of wisdom, something that will lift you up and help you be even more successful than you are now. So please join with me now to give your warm welcome to one of the visionary leaders who is walking the talk, that is making a difference. He's the chairman of our board. He is António Luís Guerra Nunes Mexia, who is the CEO of EDP and the chair of SEforALL's board. António, please.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here in my hometown, Lisbon. That, by the way, now it's a very cool, considered a very cool city, and everybody wants to come here. So you are being in Lisbon in a key moment where the city is very lively. It's very good to have you in my hometown. But I'm also honored as being a business leader that really believes about what we are doing. And these 2 days of work are very important because I wanted everybody to leave this great city with a feeling of a well-done work and with more hope and with more plans for action than we had until today. My predecessor, Billie Holiday, has already, and he deserves a key word, he has already helped steer the sustainable energy for all into this age of discovery. First as advisor of the former UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, and later as first chairman of the administrative board of SEforALL. And I believe that hopefully we will be following his first pass. And I think that the key word is also due to the United Nations, because the support that we had and we still do have from the United Nations is very, very strong. António Guterres, a former Prime Minister, today Secretary General, is, by the way, a little bit guilty of my presence here. Why? Because I went into the energy sector first when he was Prime Minister of Portugal. So I'm sorry if you have to bear with me, but it's a little bit of his fault, because when he was Prime Minister, he invited me to work for the first time in the energy sector in Portugal. But it's clear his commitment to the issues that we are addressing here of access of energy, a clean energy for all, is a key part of his agenda. And his support was against stress when he appointed CEO Rachel Kyte, that we have just heard, as his special representative for sustainable energy. Everybody knows Rachel, and Rachel was chosen, confirmed again by the Secretary General in this key role. We will hear from him in some minutes through video, because he's not in Lisbon, but I think it's very important, the signals that he's sending to us today. His vote of confidence shows how important SEforALL is today in our world. The importance of the team and the importance of the leadership of Rachel cannot be overstated. I think that we have helped clearly to illustrate to the United Nations how the CDGs and the Paris Climate Agreement must be fused into one single agenda. How the goals of the CDGs and the ambitions of Paris cannot be called a success until no one is left behind. And let's see some figures. I think that we want everybody to have, and the have-nots to have access to the energy, but we still have around 1 billion people in the world, and you know these figures, slightly more than 1 billion people without access to the energy. And giving these people access will be clearly a step forward. It will be an amazing step and very strong. Why? Because for each, and the study was done for sub-Saharan region in the globe, for each dollar you invest in this area of sustainable energy for all, you get $15 of GDP increase. So it's amazing the impact of economic growth and well-being that you can whenever you invest in this area. What are the good news? The good news is it depends on us. We don't have a lack of technology. The problem is not technology. The problem is not having money. The key issue is about political choices and, of course, project management. We need to put words into action because technology is each day more in our favor. The amazing technology progress of everything, solar, wind, storage, it's amazing. So the technology evolution has delivered us much more opportunities that we believed 5 or 10 years ago. Each year surprises us in terms of how these figures are lower, the cost of investing in solutions. The EIA considers that for the next 10 years we would need on average $48 billion a year to eradicate people without energy. So in a decade, we would basically give access to energy to everybody in the globe. And this is an amount that is lower than the support given to the fossil fuels industry in the world. So clearly, it's not a question of technology, it's not a question of money, it's a question of will and, of course, of implementing this will. But are we, and Rachel already mentioned this, are we in a path that assures that everybody has energy, clean energy in 2030? Not yet. At the current pace, we will have around 800 million still probably in 2020 and 400 million still close to 2040. So clearly we need to do more. But let's be optimistic. Everything is on our, we have tailwinds to do this. We are talking about sustainable energy. It's good to talk about also wind. We have tailwinds everywhere. Technology is changing everything and will allow us, if we want to do this. We have the know-how. We have everything. And so clearly, we have done in the recent past, in Asia, in Latin America, in Africa, we have very clear examples of how to do things and how we can be successful, pragmatic, useful, and of course, with a huge impact on people's lives. This relation between institutions and corporations is critical. And I believe that all the examples in different sectors, including cooling, including a better, of course, amazing results or better gender equality, we have been building bridges. And the sustainable energy for all has been clearly a bridge builder to accelerate the pace at which we want to reach those targets. It's a reason why, as chairman, we have shared with the administrative board and with the team 3 priorities. The first is to guarantee a stable setting for sustainable energy for all, to become a key global platform and international NGO to advance CDG 7. Second, establish sustainable energy for all as the marketplace and global hub for sustainable energy. This is very important. We need platform where we exchange data, information, will. So clearly you need a marketplace. Third, target of sustainable energy for all. Promote action-oriented partnerships between critical sectors as a catalyst to deliver our goals. We need, the world is what? Together. We need to do this together, and of course, we need also to include all the institutions, NGOs, companies, and of course, with the full support of the United Nations. And I believe that when we already mentioned today, walk the talk, I would like to share the example of my company. We are today the 3rd largest renewables energy in the world. We have been clearly established as a key strategy, renewables, but also the access to energy for all as part of our strategic agenda. And the fact that my personal engagement as chairman of the administrative board gives me additional responsibility, but also additional means to spread the world, to share efforts, and to put things together. So I think that we are, I believe, thinking differently. By the way, a personal note. Whenever I came here, I remember always, I married in this saloon. So probably, hopefully this is a good sign. So marrying wills and actions, and clearly having a good mood to do important stuff together in the world. But of course, to keep these relations, you need innovation, and you need clearly commitment. And we have produced in our company 1 leaflet, and I believe that I have somebody that will help me for a second hosting us, so hello. And clearly, we have 1 single leaflet made of 100% sustainable materials that is also an example of sustainable solutions that can make all the difference. So you can do this later. Everybody now wants a phone. So by the way, whenever you put energy and the mobile, people are in business. People have means to do clearly to create a new life, control their destiny. So typically we are going to have a photo on this leaflet, and if everything happens. So it's a leaflet that you don't see. When you take a picture, you have our commitments in what concerns having the figures of what is the problem today, frame it, and knowing exactly what is our commitment. It seems to be blank, but it's not. You need really to cooperate. You need to put together technology and will to reveal what is our target. So the leaflet will be on display during the forum. I invite you to take a picture so you know exactly what is inside. You can save it in your phone. You can share it. Everybody needs to share things with the phone, so it's not, we are out of age if we don't do it. At the end of the forum, the same leaflet will be returned to me, and who knows, it can be used again. This basic law of use it again, renewables is critical. So hopefully this will be an inspirational gathering. It's just a kickoff of 2 days' work. And remember, dealing with the issue of sustainable energy for all. We are dealing with the two key challenges of our time at the same time: climate change and income inequalities. Let's build opportunities for these more than 1 billion people that are still excluded. We need everybody to have and exclude the have-nots. Thank you, and now I will invite you to have the recorded message from António Guterres. Have a fantastic work today and tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
I'm pleased to greet the Sustainable Energy for All Forum. The 2030 Agenda and the Paris Agreement on Climate Change require a transformative approach to energy. Sustainable Development Goal 7 calls for affordable and clean energy for all. But we are not on track. 1 billion people still lack electricity. Far more needs to be done to advance renewable and efficient energy in all sectors. From industries to transportation, from cities to rural areas, it is time to end the age of fossil fuels. The Stone Age did not end because we ran out of stones. People found a better way. Let us invest in the future, not the past. Technology is on our side. I invite you all to develop bold new energy partnerships and bring them to my climate summit next year. Let us keep working together for sustainable energy for all, and I wish you a productive conference. Thank you.